G'day, it's Pete here, and I'm here to do a recap of some of my favourite hands from the Kooyong Congress. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go through and pick my favourite hand from each of the matches, just talk about a few different thoughts I have, or how I think the bidding should go, or what actually happened. Anyway, we'll jump straight in. So from this first match, there was this really distributional hand with a lot of power here, with South having a 6-5 in hearts and clubs, and you've got a 9-card fit. So anyway, how should this hand go? So this East hand's got a pretty bad hand for being vulnerable, so I'll just pass there. And then South, I would open one heart, and West has a 7-4. Now 7-4s are really powerful, and you usually want to do a lot of bidding, but this vulnerability would scare me off here, and you don't have points, and if you switch the vulnerability around, I would probably be bidding 4 spades. With the vulnerability as it is, I think pass is probably right. But 7-4s, people like bidding, and it's usually right, but that vulnerability and the weakness of this would probably scare me off. And now this North hand, what they want to do is try and show a 3-card raise that shows game forcing values. So they've got 12 high card points, and they've got a Doubleton club. So their hand's worth 13 points, and they want to try and force to game. Now, whatever you do in your methods that show a 3-card game forcing raise is fine. Now, I chose to bid 1 spade, and this East hand now can make it take out double, saying that they've got both the minors. So they've got clubs and diamonds, they're willing for their partner to compete, and things like that. And now the South hand, good distribution, can bid 2 clubs. If you play strong jump shifts, maybe 3 clubs, but you don't really have the strength for that, but you do have the playing strength. Anyway, 2 clubs. And West, I've now got some diamonds, but I still don't think this is good for them to enter in the auction. So now, however North shows their heart raise, they should probably do that. On my table, I actually chose something a little bit different because the auction was going really, really slowly by East and West. East thought for a while and then chose to pass, and West wasn't too bad, but I've had like this bad feeling that stuff wasn't breaking well, because usually when people think for a long time and then pass, it's not because they've got some balanced hand that they think is working okay, but because they've got some unusual hand. So I actually chose to bid 3 no trump, but the normal bid would be to show your heart raise, however you choose to do that. In this sort of sequence, it would typically be 2 diamonds, 4th suit forcing, and then bidding it, or you could possibly just bid 4 hearts. Now, if you get a raise like this, with South having this really powerful hand, they don't need much from their partner once they know that their partner's got 3-card support and enough points for game. So I would just bid key card and get to 6 hearts on this hand. So 4 no trump, 5 hearts, 2 without the queen, and just bid 6 hearts. So you can't make 6 hearts on this hand because of the really terrible heart break, but I'll talk through what I think the play should be on this. Now, we got a diamond lead. I think a spade lead is probably normal from this holding, even though your partner's made a takeout double. But we got a diamond lead. So let's say that you hop up. It really doesn't really change the play too much what you get. So you hop up with the ace. Now, if hearts are 2-2, you've got no heart losers, but you have to deal with the clubs. So you either want clubs or hearts to be breaking. So on this hand, what I would do is I'd draw exactly 1 round of trumps, no matter how you see hearts divide. So on heart, and you win. Now when you see the bad news like this, you know that you're going down. There's nothing you can do but lose 2 heart tricks, but you should still reevaluate your plan and try and work out how you minimize your losses. Even if hearts didn't break, I still think the play should go like this. So heart towards the king. And now what you want to do is see if clubs are 3-3 or 4-2. Now, what you want to do is play ace of clubs, king of clubs, and trump of club. So ace of clubs, king of clubs, and ruff a club. Now, if hearts are divided well and West could still have one, they might be ruffing in here, but that's okay, because if clubs are 4-2, and let's say that they trump in, you can then draw the remaining trump and then ruff your final club. So that wouldn't be an issue. But on this hand, they ruff, and what you want to do is just ruff a diamond, and then ruff a club, and now just ruff a diamond, and draw the final trump, and they'll get their 2 hearts and you'll go 1 down. But the general plan on this hand is just draw 1 round of trumps. Assuming that both opponents followed, you would have then played ace of clubs, king of clubs, and ruffed a club. If clubs were 3-3, you draw trumps and see how many tricks you make. If clubs are 4-2 and you ruff in, if they don't overruff, then you'll be all good and you can go from there. But what you don't want to do on this hand is draw 2 rounds of trumps and then go from there. Anyway, I thought this was an interesting first hand, bit about the bidding and also about the play. Anyway, moving on to the next board. So from the second set, we had this interesting hand here. So I think this was board 18, and the auction went like this. So East has this 18 count, really good 18 count. Even if you play 15 to 18, 1 no trump, I wouldn't open this one, 1 no trump. You're too likely to miss a game. Anyway, if you play just normal standard where it's 15 to 17, the auction might go something like this. So I went 1 diamond past 1 heart. This north hand's got a pretty reasonable hand. Came in with 2 clubs, and I was East and I just jumped to 4 hearts. I've got 18 points, happy to play in game when my partner responds, so we get to 4 hearts like this. So this East player, the North player leads the king of clubs. Okay. Now as West, you've got a bit of work to do. You've got a club loser, you've got 2 diamond losers, and you've got 2 spade losers. So it doesn't really look like you're going to be making this. What you want to do is start by winning and drawing trumps. So ace of hearts, king of hearts. You see that they don't split, but you can still draw the final trump. Okay, so at this stage you really want to build up the spades to try and get a discard, so that you can at least discard 1 diamond. Now, went low spade, and you put in the queen, and they win. So this is the point of the hand where I wanted to get to. So this South player, so what they can see is they can't see this West hand, they can't see this North hand. All they can see is this in dummy. Their partner led the king of clubs. You can see that all the trumps are drawn. You can see that that declarer is trying to set up spades to throw something away. Now, what I would be thinking about is possibly playing in diamond. As South, you are never going to be back on lead. And what you want to try and work out is what can your partner have that could beat the contract. Now, if you play a club, your partner can't really open up diamonds from their side. Whereas if your partner's got king jack of diamonds, you probably want to lead a diamond through and set up a diamond trick. Now, the risk of this happening is if West had the king of spades and a doubleton club. Like, if West had the king of spades and the same club holding, they'd be able to throw their club away. But then they'll be able to throw a diamond or a club away anyway. But basically what you want to consider is this is the last time you're on lead. Your partner led the king of clubs. They don't really need you to lead a club back through them. Their clubs are going to be pretty good. Whereas for them to open up diamonds, they won't be able to open it up from their side, but you could. So I think a diamond's probably right at this stage. Anyway, lots of people just returned their partner's suit, which is usually a really good idea. And they won. Now, what happened at our table was the North player chose to play a diamond. They didn't want to play on the suit that Declarer was playing on. They didn't want to give their partner a rough and discard. But actually, you don't want to be opening up diamonds here. If you count the points, you know that Declarer's got only a queen jack of hearts and nothing in spades, nothing in nothing in spades, nothing in clubs except the jack. So they've got to have the queen of diamonds. So leading a diamond here is a really poor choice. They'll get their spade discard, but there's nothing you can do to open up the suit. So I think it's best to play king of spades, spade here, and just not break that new suit from your side. So this hand is really about counting points and trying to place the cards and realizing that leading a diamond is a poor choice. Anyway, when that diamond got ran around, we got to discard one of both our diamonds. So they scored one of the diamond 10 and threw one away on the spades. And this came down for two parts. Number one, South not realizing that they could open up the diamond suit, but their partner can't. And secondly, when their partner North was in, realizing that you don't want to be playing from that side, because if you count some points, then you realize your partner doesn't have anything left. So you just have to go passive and realize that they'll get one of their diamonds away, but that's going to be it. You can't open the suit up yourself. Anyway, just an interesting hand here from my perspective about working out, do you just lead your partner's suit? What I think is really important is on defense trying to count where are your tricks going to come from. If you're here, North can see you have a spade, you have a club already. That king of spades is going to be another trick. We need one more trick to beat this contract. Where is that going to come from? Diamonds, but can we open up the diamonds? And the answer was no here. Anyway, on to board from the third set. So this hand I think is really interesting. Lots of distribution here. East has 13 highs and can open one club. And now this South hand's got lots of the red suits, 6-5 shape. Now what they can actually do is bid unusual 2-no trumps. So if they jump to 2-no trumps here, then that'll show at least 5-5 in the lowest unbid suits. So shows 5 diamonds and 5 hearts. And this West hand has 9 points and a decent hand. They might want to do something. They could double or they may pass. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about on this hand is what you should be doing with the North hand. When your partner makes a Michael's bid, what do I like to do? So first thing I like to see is, do I have 4 card support? When you have a 9 card fit, the playing strength of these hands goes through the roof. You've got big fits, so they're really powerful. So with 4 hearts here, I'd take a very rosy view of this hand. Also, singleton in your partner's suit means that you really don't need to have much to be making game here. So what I like to do is a little bit of hand visualization and think, let's imagine that my partner's got ace 5th heart and ace 5th diamond. Now, for a vulnerable 2-no trump bid, I would want more than that. But if my partner had those 2 aces and 10 cards in those 2 suits, we could see that they have no heart losers. We've got 3 losers in the black suits, however they're divided, and the ace 5th diamond would mean that no diamond loser, and we could just rough the rest of them. So if they just had ace 5th and ace 5th, then we could get away with making 10 tricks. So that's just one possible hand your partner could have. They've got a whole range of ones. As you can see, this South hand here is a 6-5. It's better. It's got a void. It's got doesn't have the ace of diamonds, but it's still got some pretty good ones. Now, I think that you should definitely be bidding 4 hearts on this North hand here, because when your partner makes a Michael's bid or an unusual 2-no trumps, if you've got 4 card support, which is good, and a singleton, I tend just to push the game. There is so often that the playing strength of that will be right. So 4 hearts, and it'll be East-West have a really good save in 5 clubs. I believe they're only one off losing 1 diamond and 2 hearts. So if they could save in 5 clubs, that would be really good. Bit awkward for them to actually work out to do that on this sort of auction. But for me, this is about how the auction would really go. And what you want to do is just set up the diamonds, and North-South can make 10 tricks with just losing 1 diamond trick and 2 spades. They may have to guess the diamonds, but if you lead a low diamond to the jack and it loses, if you just rough 1 diamond, then you're just all good. So it definitely can be made. But basically, my approach to what I like to think about after my partner makes a Michael's bid or an unusual 2-no trump, how good's my support? Do I have 4 card support? Also, do I have shortage in their other suit? If I do, they're definitely just bidding game in their suit. Other things I look for are sharp cards outside of their suit. Aces in the other suit. So if I had the ace of spades or ace of clubs, that would push it up more. King of spades is unlikely to be that useful. On this hand it actually was, because you've got 2 little opposite the king, so it gave you a chance there, but still didn't work out because the ace was offside. But basically I look for aces in the outside suits, and shortages or good trump support. in the suits that they've actually got. If you do, you want to really push. You don't need to think, oh, I've got 9 high card points and a singleton diamond, is that worth it? Think, how well does your hand actually fit with your partners there? Anyway, moving on to board number 3, just after lunch, we got this hand, and it goes 1 diamond, 1 spade, and I would pass with this north hand. You've got 5 highs, you've got good spade stoppers, but I'll just pass. I'm happy to defend spades. Now, the real question is, what does East do with this? They've got 5 hearts, they've got 6 clubs. Do they bid their longest suit? Do they bid their major? So this is often a question that you get a lot. And basically what you want to do is try and plan ahead to work out, do you have the time to bid them both? And show that you've got 5 hearts. If you think ahead in the auction and think, maybe I won't be able to show my 5 card heart suit, then I would probably settle for treating this like a 5-5 and bid 2 hearts and follow it up with 3 clubs. If you think that you do have time to round it out, then I would definitely start with my longest one. So will you be able to round out your shape or not? And do you have the points to do it? So a couple of things. So let's say that it goes 2 clubs. How are we expecting this auction to proceed as East? Ignoring like what cards we can see, what do we actually expect? Well, South might just bid something like 3 diamonds, and that might make it a bit tough, but if it went something like this, we'd still be able to round out our shape. And for me, this should show a 6-5 because we didn't make a takeout double of 3 diamonds or anything like that. So under most circumstances, I think that would be able to show that we've got 6 clubs and that we've got 5 hearts and go from there. So I think bidding 2 clubs on this hand is okay. But if we realize that maybe it's a bit tricky to get both of our suits in because we're expecting the auction to escalate a little too high for us, then I think it is okay to bid 2 hearts. But here I'd expect the auction to go 2 clubs, South would pass. This West hand should be bidding, and they don't have a balanced hand, but they're not promising it here as the overcaller, and I'll just bid 2 no trumps, which says I got some points, I've got stopper and diamonds, I don't have anything particularly useful to bid. And then East bidding 3 hearts should be a 6-5 again, because if West had 4 hearts, they would have bid 2 hearts, so they've denied it. So here East should be showing a 6-5, and you can probably get to 4 hearts on an auction, something like this. But definitely tricky. So judging whether or not you show your 5 card suit first or not is always a tricky choice, but planning ahead in the auction is what you really want to do. Anyway, on to this hand. This was in the second last set. This was a tricky hand about finding a nice underpointed slam. So not very many people got there, but what there was a tool that might be able to get you there. So first it would be open 1 club. Now some people overcalled a heart. I actually don't mind it. You are vulnerable, you don't have a great suit, but I like bidding a lot, but I think pass is the normal action. And it goes 1 spade and North should pass. Now, what East can do is make a splinter. So splinter is a convention that can be used to highlight where you have shortages, and it will allow you to find when you've got these fitting cards that work well together. So the way I would do this hand is a sensational hand. They've got 18 high card points and a singleton diamond. The hand's worth 21 points, and it's a very pure hand as well. Now, some people would play 3 diamonds as sort of invitational, 4 diamonds is enough to force the game, and 3 diamonds and bidding again would be enough to show a slam try. So that's what I would do. I'd jump to 3 diamonds here, and what this would show is you've got either an invitational hand or a slam try with 4 card support for spades and a singleton diamond. Now partner just assumes that they're the invitational hand, but what they do is they look at their hand and think, how well does my hand fit opposite a singleton diamond? If they had, say, the king of diamonds, their hand would work really poorly and they'd just bid low. But here with 6 points, an extra trump, a doubleton heart, no wasted points in diamonds, I would actually jump to 4 spades on this hand. So basically the splinters there is used to help you evaluate, are your cards working well together, rather than just using high card points to do that. Now, if you were doing this hand and you showed an invitational or a slam try and your partner was willing to bid game opposite the invite, this hand could definitely move on and just bid key card. find out that they've got one key card. I'd say, do you have the queen? And I'd say yes, and I don't have anything else to show. So after 4 no trumps, whatever your methods are. But it is possible to get to 6 spades. It's pretty tricky, but the way that you would do this is by doing a splinter and evaluating that the other hand has no wasted points opposite this singleton diamond, has the extra trump, has a very pure hand, and you may just get to 6 spades on this hand. But this hand is here to illustrate the power that splinters have in helping you find these really good tight games or tight slams when you don't have those wasted points opposite each other. But if the West hand had, say, like the Queen of Diamonds, King of Diamonds, stuff like that, then their hand would sign off saying, I've got wasted points and I don't want to go on, and then you would stay out of it. So splinters are really powerful for trying to not just use high card points to try and find the missing, find out how high you should be bidding. Anyway, the final hand, also to illustrate a point made a little bit earlier, about what you do on these 6-5 hands. So again, planning ahead. So here East has 6 clubs and 5 hearts. Now what you want to try and do is plan ahead and think what can go on, and am I happy bidding? So should I open 1 heart or should I open 1 club? Now on this hand I actually opened 1 heart and was just going to treat it like I had a 5-5 shape. Once you open 1 heart, you can't show that you have longer clubs. Now the reason I chose to open 1 heart here instead of 1 club is a lot of the auctions might go something like this if you open 1 club. Now what's your next bid going to be? I wouldn't be happy bidding 2 hearts here, and even if I did, that only shows 4 hearts at this stage, so I would also have to follow it up by bidding something like 3 hearts over that as well. And I feel that's overbidding the hand too much, and that's not enough strength to do that. So instead of wanting the auction to go ahead like that, I chose just to open 1 heart and treat it like a 5-5 hand rather than a 6-5 hand. Because I didn't feel comfortable if my partner responded 1 spade bidding 2 hearts, and then also following it up with 3 hearts. Now if instead my suit was spades instead of hearts, then I'd be a lot happier opening clubs on this, because partner will bid something like a diamond or a heart most of the time, and now you can get to bid 1 spade and follow it up with 2 spades, and that's a lot safer level to do it at. But having clubs and hearts, or even worse, diamonds and hearts, it's a lot trickier to do it. So I'd only open my 6-card minor if my hand was better. It wouldn't need to be much better. If you gave me another queen or something, just a little bit more power in there, or like Jack of clubs and Jack of hearts, then I'd be opening 1 club, happy to reverse on that, and keep bidding some more. But dealing with these 6-5 hands can be a bit tricky. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed my recap of the Kooyong Congress, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.